Good morning, it's 7 a.m. and this is Ayat Cholding Alak with the news, the headlines. Kiir says that the whole world has heard the voice of the people of Southern Sudan. Kamal Awed says North and South will create strong ties and commends the leadership for working peacefully. And Juba Commissioner orders security organs to crack down robbers in the town. And now for the news in details. One day after the final referendum announcement, the Vice President of the Republic and President of the Government of Southern Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, says that the results have made the whole world hear the voice of Southern Sudanese. Addressing a press conference in Juba upon his arrival from Khartoum on Tuesday, Kiir said that Southern Sudan referendum is over and the priorities of his government are to resolve pending issues in the Comprehensive Peace Agreement like the Abyei, security, border demarcation and popular consultations, among others. President Kiir described the referendum results, in which Southerners voted overwhelmingly for cessation, as a crowning moment for sacrifices made during the liberation struggle.
By this official result of 98.83%, the whole world has heard your voice loud and very clearly. You have voted for freedom, equality, justice and democracy. You have voted for the fulfillment of the ideals that inspired our struggle from its inception in 1983. This result is the crowning moment of all the sacrifices made during our long struggle. As people, you have chosen the path to permanent peace. You have chosen the path to human dignity, and you have chosen the path to nationhood.
He also appreciated President Omar al-Bashir's acceptance of the referendum results, as well as the African Union, the IGAD and members of the international community for their support. To that, the Federal Minister of Information, a leading member in the National Congress Party, Kamal Awed, has commended the leadership of the country for working peacefully and conducting the referendum results as scheduled. That is. Obed's statement comes after the announcement of the final referendum results on Tuesday at the Friendship Hall in Khartoum. Speaking to Radio Muraya, Obed said that the two countries will establish new ties, especially after eradicating their political differences.
We think the high spirit of the interim period and the referendum process will be a great help in the following period in relations between the two countries. The relationship between the two peoples of Sudan was shown in a strong spirit during the referendum. The whole world was expecting high tension. The good relationship which has lasted for centuries kept the bond, and maybe after the tension caused by the political situation is gone, things will be better than before.
Meanwhile, the SPLM Secretary General Pagan Amum told Radio Muraya that unity has failed and it's time to test peace in a separated Sudan where there will be stability.
Our vision for the two countries is to work together in order to build good relations and cooperative relations between the North and the South in all fields to establish the higher interest for the Sudanese people in both states. We have tried unity as Sudanese people in one Sudanese state, and we have failed. Therefore, all we have to do is to work hard, not to fail being two neighbor states, living in peace, mutual respect, and mutual security.
The Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General to Sudan, Haley Menkras, commended the people of Sudan for the final outcome of the referendum results. In his speech after the announcement of the results, Menkras said that the SPLM and the NCP have worked their political will and wisdom in making the referendum process successful. Meanwhile, the African Union congratulated the people of Sudan and their leadership on the referendum results. The former South African president and head of the African Union High-Level Implementation Panel, Thabo Mbeki, has said that Sudan is an example to the African countries in resolving political differences. He said that the African Union will support North and South Sudan to maintain stability between the two countries.
We are convinced that as they did to ensure the success of the South Sudan referendum, the esteemed leaders of the Sudanese people, led by President Bashir and First Vice President Salva Kiir, will live up to the expectations of both the Sudanese people and the African continent as a whole for lasting peace, a better life for all of the people of Northern and Southern Sudan, and the contribution of both countries to the further upliftment of Africa.
On Tuesday, the Southern Sudan Referendum Commission announced the final results of the referendum voting process. The results showed that Southerners voted overwhelmingly by 98.83% for separation. And you're listening to the news on Radio Miraya and at our website at mirayafm.org. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ali Ahmed Kirti, has said that he welcomes Washington's announcement of starting procedures to lift Sudan off the terrorist-sponsoring countries list. This came during his meeting with the U.S. Special Envoy to Sudan, Scott Gratian, yesterday. On his part, Gratian reiterated President Obama and the U.S. administration's commitment to salvage the agreed-upon roadmap to improve the ties between the two countries. He, however, clarified that it would take at least 6 months to lift Sudan off the terrorist-supporting countries. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting in the government of Southern Sudan, Barnaba Marial Benjamin, has said he is optimistic that a press law will be formulated before the declaration of the new state. Speaking to Radio Miraya, Benjamin said that a committee has been formed comprising representatives of independent media houses to study the draft law. He said that the law will help in creating legal environment for freedom of expression.
Laws, by the way, are a two-way traffic. They are necessary for the government as well. They are also necessary for the citizen, and they are necessary for the journalists, and they add to the credibility of our international press environment for the rest of the international press. It gives us credibility as a government. So we are the first who would want to have these laws. We need them desperately. And I think it is good to go slow and come out with an excellent law rather than to jump very quickly and in the end you come out with a law which is not good. So we need the patience.
Marial said that the draft law was returned back to the Ministry of Legal Affairs and Constitutional Development after some independent media complained of some contents in the draft law. The Commissioner of Juba County, Central Equatorial State, Thomas Peter Gore, has ordered police and security organs in the town to crack down armed robbery activities. He appealed to the government of Southern Sudan to support the efforts of the local government in curbing the criminal activities. Gore said that the armed robbers are using police uniforms and he is so surprised.
I am surprised because the security situation was encouraging until then. However, I heard that there was an incident in Jabarona and Nyakuren. I have ordered the police and the security organs to dig out the culprits. The police need to be a friend to the public and not hurt anyone.
Earlier, the President of the Government of Southern Sudan ordered the Ministry of Internal and SPLA Affairs to focus on security situation in Juba. The Government of Southern Sudan has urged youth to work together with the government in addressing challenges of the new nation. The Minister of Information in the Government of Southern Sudan, Barnaba Marial Benjamin, said that the youth should be on the forefront in tackling challenges ahead. More details with Susan Dokolo in the following report.
Speaking during a youth program on Radio Miraya, the Minister of Information, Barnaba Marial Benjamin, commended the youth for the role they played in raising awareness among the citizens during the referendum process. Marial said that the youth are having big tasks and should work together with the government. He emphasized the need for the young people to help in the fight against tribalism.
I would like to share with our youth that we are going to have a lot of challenges, and we want you to be in the forefront of those challenges, explaining it to our citizens, explaining to our people, working together with your government so that we can be able to explain to our people that, look, we are now going to sweat it out. We are going to work hard and prove to the world once and for all that the people of South Sudan are able to be a viable and peaceful country.
Meanwhile, Marial urged the youth to celebrate the outcome of the referendum responsibly. He called on the police not to harass anybody, but instead they should protect the people.
Nobody should be harassed because of clothes. No. We fought against the North simply because we didn't want a culture imposed on us. and this should be very clear to our police and to everybody else, that at least we are supposed to dress decently. And it is no business of the government going about seeing what type of food you are eating or what type of dress you are putting on. That is not the business of the government, is to protect its citizens. And I think this will take time.
The Ministry of Information said that the government will involve the youth in having a secure constitution.
The first Vice President and President of the Government of Southern Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, met with the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and discussed the issues of repatriating Southerners in the north back to the south. Minister Joseph Lualachwil briefed Kiir on the situation of the displaced people in the north and those in diaspora, especially in Egypt. Addressing the press, Achwil said that an urgent assistance is needed to repatriate the displaced people back to the south. He said that the ministry is calling on the international community to include the United Nations and concerned humanitarian organs to assist. The minister also said that the formal call for the organizations to assist will be launched today. And with that, we end the news, but here are the main points once again. President Kiir says that the whole world has heard the voice of the people of Southern Sudan. Kamala Wade says North and South will create strong relations and commends the leadership for working peacefully. And Juba Commissioner orders security organs to crack down robbers in the town. End of the news, presented to you by Ayak Choldeng Alak. For further news and more information, kindly log on to our website at www.mirayafm.org.